My daughter is disabled and she is deaf. She has cerebral palsy and a learning difficulty. She's very proud, however, of her deaf identity, that she wears a cochlear implant. We have been in a lift while out shopping and I could not believe when the person with their own children touched the side of my daughter's head, the microphone piece that attaches to the cochlear implant, and said, "What's that?" I was speechless. One, this made my daughter jump because obviously that's the microphone that attaches to the electrode arrays in the brain. And two, what right did this person have to just think that was okay to touch her?
I was going around my duties, preparing a room for an event. And that means getting all the seating ready, and the delegates were already in the room and there were some senior managers. And just before I was going, I turned to the room and asked them kindly to leave the seating in the socially distanced places that they were in for the next event. And as I'm leaving, a senior manager turned around and just said, "Okay, Mum." But the tone he said it was offensive to me, because it seemed to suggest he was considering me to be older and therefore he thought it appropriate to make such a remark. It might have been in a joke, but it felt it was hurtful.
I work, as I said, I work in an office at the QAH, the safeguarding team. We received a call from one of the wards. One of the ward managers wanted to talk about domestic violence because they had a patient there. I was in the office, so I was put on the phone. So Kira's here, she's worried for domestic abuse, do you want to have a word with her? I got on the phone and said, "Yep, it's Kira here," and the result was that I got this, "Oh, I was expecting to speak to a woman." My reply, "Well, you are speaking to a woman," and then another comment was made and I just said, "Look, stop now before you put totally in it and let's deal with the question at hand."
When I was at school, organising my son's birthday party, and I invited his best friend who couldn't make it. So I approached her mother just to say, actually, did we want to organise a different play date so they got to spend some time together? And the parents said that she wouldn't be able to make it. So I suggested a play date. And at this point she said that her daughter will be friends with my son in school, but she'll never be friends outside of school, which I found confusing. So I asked why, and she went on to say that she would be civil to us at school, but they wouldn't associate with us outside of school because she was Christian and they didn't tolerate our lifestyle choice. Being gay is not a lifestyle choice, it's not something I've chosen, same as people don't choose to be straight, it is just something you're born as.
It's not okay to ask and assume that I am the person going to take the minutes of the meeting because I am the only black person in the room.
It is not okay to discriminate based on age.
It is not okay to point at her as if she cannot see you. She's very proud of her deaf identity, and it is okay to come up and talk to us about signing and her equipment.
It's not okay to ask how did you get here and think I ticked an ethnicity box. But it is okay to ask me about my experience and what diverse thoughts, abilities and skills I can bring to the table.
It's not okay to ask a same-sex couple which one is the mother and which one is the father.
It's not okay to assume that my accent comes from any one country. As is the case, sometimes people might think you have an accent, West Indian accent, and you're Jamaican. It is okay though for you to come and ask me, where does your accent come from? I'll happily explain that to you.
It's not okay to assume somebody's identity. It's not okay to correct someone over their own identity.
It's not okay for you to ask where I am really from when I say I grew up here in Manchester or in Durham, but it is okay for you to ask about my background, my heritage or history without making any assumptions.
It's not okay to pat or touch my hair. Would you like me to do that to you? It's okay for you to compliment my hairstyle that day. That's perfectly fine.